Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wikipedia at 22. I almost said 20. Welcome at Wikipedia at 22 birthday celebrations. We're really glad that you're joined us for this birthday party. So we're just going to give ourselves around 5 minutes to allow everybody to join. So feel free to introduce yourself in the chat. Tell us where you're joining from and how long you've been a Wikipedian. And yes, let's enjoy this celebration. We'll have some music in the background in the meantime. So we start in the next 5 minutes. Thank you. Thank you to everyone that is just joining the call. We are just giving ourselves around 5 minutes, which I think we have 1 minute to go to get started. I'm glad that you're all introducing yourselves on the chat. Please tell us how long, where you're joining from and how long you've been a Wikimedian. I already see Onyinye from Nigeria, and she says she's been a member of the Igbo user group for the last 4 years. That is quite impressive. Welcome, Onyinye. I also see Kemi Makinde from Nigeria as well with a 2-year experience. You're very much welcome. And as we proceed also, I want to point out that we have Swahili and French interpretation. So if you'd like to get language support in any of those languages, we have the channels. For those, I think our technical team will be posting the links, or rather not, sorry, the links, the channels. So Anthony says, who is our Swahili interpreter, he says, for those who would like Swahili live interpretation, kindly switch into the Arabic channel. So it's just that we couldn't change the name to Swahili, but please join the Arabic channel. I promise you, you will not hear Arabic, you will hear Swahili. As for French, I will share that once I get it, but it will also be posted on the chat. Great. I see Romeo also from South Sudan on the call. Welcome, Romeo. Hussein Mbaga from Tanzania, Wikimedian for the last 3 years. Karibu sana, Hussein. Sure. For those who are just joining, feel welcome. Please introduce yourself in the chat. Tell us where you're joining from and how long you've been a Wikimedian. Great, thanks everyone. I think at this point we can get started. Those who are joining will find us on the way in the interest of time. So welcome once again to the Wikipedia at 22 birthday celebrations. It just feels like the other day when we hosted the Wikipedia at 20 celebrations, how the 2 years have gone by so fast. It's quite amazing. And we couldn't be here if it wasn't for the good work that you all do, all the resources, all that single edits you put on Wikipedia. From that little edit, even if it's just adding a reference, you have made Wikipedia the resource that it is today, and we celebrate you all. My name is Winnie Kabinti, a passionate Wikimedian as well. I've been a Wikimedian for the last 3 years, and I'm currently working at the foundation as a senior movement communications specialist for the African region. And I'm pretty delighted that you honored our invitation. And as with any celebration, we know the more the merrier. So it wouldn't have been great if you weren't here. So feel appreciated and welcome. For those who have just joined, again, Please engage with us on the chat, introduce yourself, tell us where you're joining from, and how long you've been a Wikimedian. We have language support. We have live interpretation in Swahili, French, thanks to the Movement Communications team, which is a first for this event since the first one we hosted in 2020. So this is really great. And we know like translation for regional events is one of these things people have been asking for, especially our community members from Francophone. So this is a milestone for us and we are pretty much delighted. Thank you so much, Belinda, Senior Manager, Movement Comms, for making this possible. I will also kindly request before we proceed further, if you are not speaking, please remain muted to avoid any interruptions during the event. Thank you. So based on the order of things, we just have a very small program. We had hoped to do this in just 1.5 hours, but we realized people have so much to share. So we have made it 2 hours, but we will promise it's going to be a nice, vibrant, and really engaging. We have a panel of speakers who will be coming up to just share their stories in the movement. And of course, we also want to hear from everyone. Engage with us, tell us all your amazing Wikimedia stories, how you got into this space, how you are involving, the challenges you are facing as an African Wikipedia editor. We want to hear those remarks as well. And we are also joined by the Wikimedia Foundation CEO, Mariana, and also various foundation staff as well are in attendance. So it is a full house with lots of representation, and we are very much delighted. So I will kick this off by handing over to Bobby Shabangu, who is the president of WISCOM, to share a keynote address for us. Welcome, Bobby. Is Bobby on the call? And if he's on the call, Felix, could you please ensure that he's unmuted?
Yeah, Bobby, go ahead. You should now be able to speak.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jeffrey. And good evening to everyone, and good afternoon to others, and good morning to others if it's morning in other parts of Africa. It is my delight to be part of this 22nd celebration where we are celebrating Wikipedia. As Winnie has said, you know, everyone that is here has played a very major role in order to make Wikipedia work. So as Winnie has said, I am part of, my name is Bobby Shabangu, and I am part of Wikimedia Steering Committee. And Wikimedia Steering Committee is a group of dedicated volunteers who are responsible for the planning and execution of the annual conference, Wiki Indaba Conference. We ensure that that conference, you know, every year happens. And the Wiki Indaba Steering Committee, shortened WISCOM. What we are made up of, we are made up of representatives from previous hosts of that conference. We recognized that there are a lot of people, you know, that needed to speak out for their voice to be heard as Africans. And in 2014, the conference then was started. It became, the maiden conference happened here in South Africa. However, it was recognized that some of the members really, after hosting the conference, they got to burn out. So we then formed the conference. It was decided in 2017 in Marrakesh that there needs to be a steering committee of previous host of the conference, not necessarily the core people that were organizing the conference, but countries that hosted, because they were a group of people that were hosting the conference, they can elect one to stand or to represent them in WISCOM. So yeah, the WISCOM is then represented by a previous host of the host of Wiki Indaba conference, as well as community members. We called for community members to come and be part of WISCOM, because you cannot host the conference if you are not an affiliate, if you're not coming from a user group or a chapter. So we also recognize that there are other people that are not necessarily from a chapter or user group, but who would like to be part of the steering committee, you know. So we send out a call for people to apply to be part of WISCOM, and we are still in the process of choosing the representative of the community, African community this year, which will be announced in mid-February actually. And I also need to note here that we will also announce the next host of the Wiki Indaba conference in the next in mid-February as well. So in the last conference, actually, a lot of things came up. A lot of really important things were discussed in Rwanda, and most of them were around the exponentially growing African community. And some of those things were, there were issues that the newbies and even the people that are old in the movement have actually raised up that we need to bring up we need to sort out as a community. Now, there's not really WISCOM acts as a body that organizes the conference, and it also facilitates, the writing of the report, and maybe reach out to some of the people here and there who had a complaint or a concern, but we are not set up as, a body that really solves issues. It's just only to organize the conference. But really, a lot of people in the last conference has really raised the concern that we need to have that body. In fact, they even suggested that WISCOM can play that role of being a body that actually oversee, the solving of people's or of communities' problems. And some of the issues that were raised there was the restrictive scholarship regime, which is limited to a very, very small number of people in light of the growing community. Last time we had 40 scholarships, and we did explain the reasons behind the 40 scholarships. And the other thing is that WISCOM is dominated by the Anglophone community, while the Francophone community and the community in the North as well is growing. And we need to find a way, like what we're doing today right here, to also accommodate them by including a translation platform, so that they are able to also be accommodated as well. And some people raise the fact that there needs to be the redesign of the conference program. They see that we reached out, we made a survey, of what's going to be talking about, but they also said we need to find a better way in order to accommodate newbies, a better way of communicating to the communities out there. We don't have budget, but these are things that we're going to be talking about. We've been avoiding the issue of being a hub because we really did not see the direction, because we did not see how we can implement that. Among others was the issues of, if we're going to be applying for the funding, which country is it going to be hosted in, those funding, how are we going to run the administration, and all sorts of issues like that. But during the conference, we then spoke, and it was agreed, that we really need to delve deeper into these issues and look into how we do the administration, how we become a hub, actually, that will help the African communities. We will update you on those issues. But as I close, Some of the issues that came up were the challenges really that were brought during the conference that needs to be solved within the African communities, including the people being harassed. Yeah, let me just use that way. Some people, especially newbies and other Wikimedians, that are within the African continent, they continue their accounts being blocked. So what is it that we are doing, in order to revert, targeted reverts and blocking by malevolent CSOP and other administrators, especially in the English and French Wikipedia. So, and some people raise the issues of difficulties in accessing funding and lack of unified regional voice and limited to the internet and digital resources. Many African countries have limited internet. What is it that we are doing in order to support those people? Language barriers I've already mentioned, and low literacy rate. This is very important, especially to those ones who wants to go out there and activate people. Some of the African countries, people really, they're not even computer literate. What is it that we can do? Or they have basic, computer literacy. What is it that we can do in order to bring those people to involve them? Because Wikipedia is supposed to, be inclusive to everyone, and then the issue of economic inequality. What does it mean to be a volunteer in the African community? And then lastly, but not least, is the lack of support and recognition. Many African countries lack the infrastructure and support needed to recognize, and reward Wikipedians, for their contributions. Those are the kinds of things that came up and that we want to address as we are moving forward. Without taking further time, thank you so much for everyone who has joined us today, and are really looking forward to 2023, colleagues. And thank you so much, and Winnie, back over to you.
Thank you very much, Bobby, for those great remarks and insight into the movement in the African region. That is very valuable. So I see more people are joining, and we're glad to have you. I see Olushola, the co-founder of the Wikimedia user group in Nigeria. You're very much welcome, Shola. I see Terry Boke from Kenya. I see Carol also from Kenya. And also, just to mention, we have also two great gentlemen working behind the scenes and helping us in the technical aspects. We have Felix Nati, who you all know from the community in Ghana and is now also a senior program officer at the foundation. And we have Geoffrey Katarenga, who's also been a great mentor to a lot of us, especially from the East African region. He's also working greatly behind the scenes. I see Douglas also from Uganda is also on the call. Please, if you're just joining now, introduce yourself on the chat. Tell us where you're joining us from and how long you've been Wikimedian. I see George Levy from South Sudan. You're very much welcome, George. I also see Gameli from Ghana. So everyone is joining from all parts of Africa, and we're glad to have everybody on the call. So in this next phase, we are going to play very short videos from East and West Africa. So these videos are just vox pop. We sent out some of our community facilitators on the ground to just do random interviews and get to hear what people think of Wikipedia. Some have been done by random people and not necessarily Wikimedians, while some also include Wikimedians. So enjoy the videos.
Hi, Jane. I'm fine. Thank you. Your name, please. My name is Jane. I'm now okay from this country. I'm from Ghana. Ghanaian. You're Ghanaian. Yes. Living in Nigeria. Yes. Wow. Okay, so do you use Wikipedia? Yes, I do. You do. Yeah. So can you tell us about Wikipedia? Wikipedia is an online app, free online app that helps in your research. Like if you want information, just any information. Wikipedia is best out. Like it gives you detailed information, like detailed everything from any particular one. Wow. So that means you use Wikipedia constantly. Has it been helpful? Does it help you? Yes, like it gives you more knowledge of anything you like. It educates you at the same time understand it. So do you think Wikipedia is good in education as well? Very good education. Education to students. Thank you very much. What's the name? Where are you speaking from? From the systems. Good. Do you know anything about Wikipedia?
Yes, I have an idea on this.
Okay. Have you been using Wikipedia?
Yeah, I'm using Wikipedia for a while now.
So you mean you use Wikipedia regularly? It's on your list. Wow, fantastic. So has it been helpful?
Yes, I've been helpful for me because in my assignments, yeah, helped me in my projects, searching, it's good.
Okay. So what do you think about it?
They give you the best information, but they hold back some in political education.
So you mean political education, the information there is not as adequate as they want it to be.
Yes, we get more information on recent things happening in politics than past in Wikipedia.
In Wikipedia. Thank you very much for your. So what's your name? Our Becky. Where are you from? Abia State. The student of NIJ. The student of Nigerian journalism. Okay. Do you know anything about Wikipedia? Yes. Have you ever used Wikipedia before? Yes. And what do you think about Wikipedia? Well, done online Wikipedia, which help readers find what it help readers to get what you're looking for online, help them with their assignment and other things. Wikipedia is so good for reading, finding information, news and other things. Yeah. So it means that you use Wikipedia constantly. Not constantly, but sometimes use it sometimes. Yeah. So and it has been helpful, very helpful. Very helpful. So you think Wikipedia should stay? Yes, it should stay. Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. I hope you've enjoyed the videos. In this next session, we're going to invite also some of our community members who are like representing most of the regions that we have in Africa. We have speakers, representatives. We would have loved to give this platform to everybody to share, but as we all know, we are dozens of us, so we cannot fit into this program in just within 2 hours. So we picked representatives from North Africa, a representative from North Africa, South Africa, East Africa, West Africa. So all regions are totally represented. And our first speaker of the day is Tochi. We all know Tochi, a seasoned Wikimedian who's been with us for quite some time. She's also a Wikimedian in residence as well, currently at the Moleskine Foundation. Allow me to just read a bit of her bio. So Tochi is a teacher, translator, and entrepreneur. She's an alumni of the Sherry Blair Foundation Women in Business Mentorship Program, as well as the Next Economy Nigeria Entrepreneurship Program, which she became the Nigerian ambassador in 2018. And she also is a great mentor who mentors young African entrepreneurs to use the Lean model. She is the founder and operations coordinator of Smarter Languages Hub, a language services company, co-founder and program coordinator of the Igbo Wikimedians user group. Yes, so you're very much welcome, Tochi. We are delighted to hear your great insights. Please let us know how long you've been a Wikimedian, the work that you do, particularly with the Igbo Wikimedians user group, what has been working well, what hasn't been working well. And if you also have a community wish list that you'd like to share, we'll be so delighted to hear that. Welcome, Tochi.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. I was actually struggling to unmute myself. Hi, everyone. It's really very exciting to celebrate Wikipedia as a community, like as an African community. Thank you for everyone who made this possible. My name is Tochi once again. First of all, I joined Wikipedia in 2017. Actually, what drew me to Wikipedia, to the Wikimedia movement generally was coffee. I used to love coffee before it dealt with me. And then Blossom posted something about, hi, if you would.
Sorry for the hiccup.
Sorry. All right, sorry.
If you're not speaking, please mute yourself.
So like I was saying, I have a background in languages, and then I love to translate, and I also loved coffee. So I saw this post from Blossom on Twitter. Hi, I want to translate something into Igbo language. There's coffee. That's the only line that attracted me. And then I ran to where she was doing it. I had a lot of coffee, and then she introduced us to Wikimedia. She was running a project on Wiki Women, Igbo Wiki Women. That was back in 2017. It was an exciting moment. For me then, I love to translate those very long articles. And I decided to focus on translation because I felt it makes knowledge more accessible and available to people. So fast forward to then, I think since then till now, I've been 6 to 7 years in the movement. At the end of our project, we were able to co-found the Igbo Wikimedians user group together, myself, Blossom, and Uzoma Uzurumba. And we've been here since 2018. When we co-founded the user group, we have over 200 members in the user group. I'm not sure of the other questions. Could you please repeat them so that I don't answer off points?
Some of the highlights of the key projects you've been working with in your user group, and also some of the major challenges, if you could highlight them briefly, and also your community wish list, if there's one.
All right. Okay, so we've worked on a lot of projects, but probably because we are women, like women founders, most of our projects have actually been also focused on women. We've worked on projects that had to do with increasing the presence of women on Wikipedia, Wikiquotes, and also Commons. We've also worked on community projects. So we have this situation of community initiated ideas. So we have projects like the Wikimentor Africa, we have projects like Say It Right, we have the projects like Fixing Reference Errors, and these are community initiated projects because as a community, we believe in communal efforts, that's actually working together as a community, and that's what makes us stronger each day. And for our challenges, we've had a lot of challenges actually, but then I'm just going to mention one. One of the challenges is trying to get people to support. So somehow we were kind of afraid to seek support from the community then, without knowing that actually people were willing to support, just that we've not asked. And then we somehow tried to strand the support system, and fortunately a lot of our community members actually were willing to support, willing to give in their ideas and so much more. So that was how we kind of overcame that. So it was more like everything wasn't saddled, like every responsibility wasn't saddled on the leads anymore, like the community leads, but now it's a communal effort where everyone has to contribute their quota. For me, I love Wikipedia. I love the fact that I can share knowledge in Igbo language and also help others to share knowledge in their own languages. I've done a lot of projects across various countries in Africa, and that is the best part of it, especially having to do things in African languages. That's always the highlight of Wikipedia for me. So for this Wikipedia at 22, I'm hoping that Wikipedia is going to keep improving and keep being accommodating. Like I'm hoping that it gets more accommodating for we Africans. No more IP block, no more things that would hinder us from putting people we think they are notable from our areas, and then someone else from somewhere else is telling us that they are not notable enough. So I'm just hoping and wishing for when that very full representation and I don't know how else to put it, will come and happen on Wikipedia. So I'm grateful to the founders of Wikipedia, and I'm also hoping and wishing Wikipedia is living long for us to keep contributing and making it better.
Thank you very much, Tochi.
Thank you.
Those are very great insights. And anyone else who is also on the call, you're from the communities represented by the speakers, feel free to also share and add into the insights that they are sharing about your community, projects that you're working on that you're excited to share, even at an individual level, any grievances that you have around the user experiences on Wikipedia, and any wish list that you might also have, feel free to share that in the chat. As we said, this is a celebration and we want everybody to feel like your voice matters and it's included. So this is a platform for us to engage. So yes, please feel free to share all your insights in the chat as well. So our next speaker is a great gentleman called Romeo. Romeo is a co-founder of the South Sudan User Group. Is a co-founder of the South Sudan User Group and one of our seasoned newcomers in the East African region. Felix, could we please have Romeo's slides? We still have torches. So as that comes, yes, there we go. So Romeo is an experienced podcaster, audio producer, digital storyteller, and open source tools advocate. Is one of the community members from East Africa that you know as much as is a newcomer. If you want things done, you know, Romeo has got your back. So I'm happy that we get to hear Romeo's voice as he gets a chance to share the East African stories as well. So welcome, Romeo.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Winnie. I don't know whether you can get me right.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
All right, perfect. So my name is Romeo, just once again, and I'm super excited to be here. So I got involved with Wikipedia, or probably just knew something in Wikipedia quite a time ago. I think it was around 2016 when somebody just introduced it to me. And I was super excited because for some reason, I felt like I could preserve my culture in South Sudan because it was getting lost. So most of us actually were now failing to speak our own language or just know the stories of our own cultures. Just because at the time, I was a refugee in Uganda, which I've been since 2016. And so I realized one of the biggest problems is that we're losing actually to understand more details of our culture, because most of the elders we had available were back in South Sudan. So we're just people here. And then I just got introduced to that very partially, and I didn't know what to do with that information. Then around 2020, I met the amazing people, that is Geoffrey and the rest of the team from the Wikimedia User Group in Uganda, who came to an organization that I co-founded with my friend back then, the refugee camp known as Platform Africa. And then we had a program known as the Wiki for Refugees. And I can remember from there, I had an amazing interaction with Wikipedia where I was taught how to edit and I was taught how to really get stuff going on. But remember, we already had a community that was in the refugee camp and who were contributing stories about South Sudan, but from the refugee context. It felt really amazing because you're contributing about our home away from home, which was great. But now there was a very dire need of seeing what could we do beyond that. We're supposed to go back to our country and probably be able to solve quite a number of problems that Wikipedia could be able to solve. And so I remember that was the time from the Wiki for Refugees. It was so easy for us to, for me to be able to say, okay, finally, why can't I just go back to South Sudan and be able to start a community? And with the help of the Wikimedia User Group in Uganda, I was able, with the skills I got, I was able to go and we started our first program, which was the Wiki for Human Rights in 2022. And we're able to bring in a couple of colleagues who came in here and there, and we shared an amazing moment writing a few articles. But it wasn't that great because, I was a newcomer by then, never had enough skills, but also there were people around me who I was trying to share the little skills I had. So one of the biggest investments I thought for myself was, why can't I just learn more? Why can't I collaborate more? So we did more programs, which was the Wiki Love the Wiki Labs Africa, which Geoffrey really helped a lot, and the community user group in Uganda helped in the jurisdiction, and they also helped a lot in the jury process to see that we actually get that project really out. I remember it was an amazing one. People submitted in photos. But with the more programs and campaigns that went on, the Wiki Loves Monuments and all the other programs that were so amazing, I realized we kept on growing a community, and the community began realizing actually that they could associate a value with whatever they were doing with Wikimedia. And that is the time we decided to say, okay, why can't we really come together and make this like a community of really Wikimedians? And so from there, I was able to mobilize a number of youths, and that's when we had our first amazing a program which had like so many youths, and that was the Wikimania in 2022. So the Wikimania had to bring in quite a number of people that the youths came from different ends, and we made an amazing Wikimania program. But remember, challenges were now coming in. One of the challenges was like, how do we retain these people? Because participant retention was a problem. People just come in and enjoyed the program, they learned a skill, but they left. So how do we do that? That was one of our main problems. And then another problem we realized also as we had this community, which was still growing up, we realized one of the main problem was also the reports around harassment, the reports around IP blocking and all that. It became a little bit so difficult for me to deal with that with my community. I remember I consulted the Winnies who came around to really help and talk to my community. And also we had issues with internet and expenses. It's very expensive when you come to stay in South Sudan. You realize that only 5 gigabytes of data can cost you around $20 to $30, which is really expensive to be able to sustain a community there, which got a little bit so difficult. And we also had other more issues around skills, because remember, I was the one who had at least some skills, but I have to deliver this out to the people. How do I do that? So one of the solutions we had to do to be able to combat these challenges that we already had as a small community was to be able to allow collaborations. So we're able to collaborate with already existing user groups. We're able to collaborate with some of the existing Wikimedians here. I remember I consulted Tochi so much for a lot of help. So with the number of people who I already knew in the community, I was able to consult them for a lot of help, and that built a lot of skills within me that I could actually share out. But apart from that also, I was able to share out with a lot of people who I knew had skills around photography to improve on our Wikilabs programs, and also other associated programs like around creative writing. We did trainings in that. And that really helped our community to be able to build up their skills. One of the amazing successes I can announce right now is we are able to have a community of at least more than 60 people who are very ready and able to contribute. But also apart from that, we have achievement of having at least a language right now. We have the Dinka Wikipedia. The upcoming new the upcoming new world, which is now on the incubator. And this is super amazing. All thanks to Amir and Tochi, who helped so much in creating all of this, and well as of other community members who are around. So yeah, our future thoughts around as a community is, one, I would love to see more collaborations. I want to really collaborate with the Ofua people to be able to see that at least we do more programs with them around the oral documentations and stuff, plus other communities. So please, I would really need a lot of collaborations from everyone here, and to see that we support growing communities like mine. Otherwise, thank you so much. And thank you so much for the communities around, and also for the Wikimedia to be able to support us. Otherwise, thank you so much, and happy birthday, Wikipedia. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Romeo. That has been a delight to hear. I had a lot of collaboration, which has been a spirit for us as African Wikimedians. And I'm glad that as a newcomer in the movement, you've harvested, or rather you've actually felt that aspect of collaboration, which is quite notable in the African communities. As a person who's been a newcomer also at some point in the movement, I also share into your story. You know, we are where we are today, the growth we've had because of a lot of mentorship, a lot of collaboration from other experienced African Wikimedians who held our hands and showed us the way to go. So we are really proud of you, and particularly the user group team in Uganda. You've been a force behind all the user groups in the region, from the user group in Rwanda to now South Sudan to Kenya. Tanzania. You've mentored us all, and we are always ever grateful. And I know this collaboration goes beyond even East Africa. As Romeo mentioned, she's benefited a great deal from mentorship from somebody like Tochi. Some of us have also benefited a lot from guidance from people even beyond our region. Talk of the Bobbies, the Felix, the Olusholas. You've all been a force, especially around mentoring other young newcomers in the movement, and we are proud of you all. So welcome again to everyone who's just joined. Please introduce yourself in the chat. Tell us where you're joining us from, how long you've been a Wikimedian, and also feel free to share with us your Wikimedian story, any highlights that you have. And if you're from a country or a region where speakers have spoken from, also feel free to share out your projects as well. So we're going to jump into, earlier on we played a video from East and West Africa, a lot of Vox Pop interviewing people on the streets to hear their thoughts about Wikipedia as we celebrate Wikipedia at 20. Now we are going to play another video from the North and South of Africa's region. And after that, we are going to have a keynote address from the Wikimedia Foundation CEO, Mariana Iskandar. So enjoy the videos.
Hello, my name is Patience. I've been using Wikipedia for some time now. Wikipedia has helped me a lot to get knowledge about different topics across the world. It has helped me research about different things that I would love to know about my business and many other things.
I am Caroline, and I know this about Wikipedia. I know that this is where I can get most of the information that I need. I used it basically throughout my campus. It helped me a lot. It's actually what got me to campus. It helped me with schoolwork and a lot of my assignments. And on the 22nd birthday, like I say, I just want to say a very big thank you, because I don't know how I would have done school without it. So thank you guys, and I hope and pray that you will continue with the good work that you're doing.
Hi everyone, my name is Raymond White. I'm from Wikipedia from here. I've been in Wikipedia since 2021, and I've had amazing experience on Wikipedia. What have been my highlight is that I've had quite a nice experience working with different campaigns. For example, Wikilabs I've had an opportunity to work with different Wikipedia platforms like Wikipedia itself and Wikidata. And I've had a nice experience, especially when we were working on a project, Wikilabs. The good thing about Wikipedia is anyone can join, enjoy the experience of editing and contributing to open knowledge. And that's what we want, open knowledge to the world and open knowledge to everyone.
My name is Esther Ganda. I was newly introduced to Wikipedia. I'm not contributed for a long time, around 4 to 6 months. So I love Wikipedia very much because every time I contribute and edit an article in Wikipedia and then successfully publish that article, I feel proud because I have contributed to information that is going to be accessed all over the world, because information that I have, if I hold on to it, it's of no use, but when I put it out there and it becomes helpful to someone else, somewhere else, it makes me feel, that I've contributed to something that is important to other people. Because access to information is important to all of us. The information that is in Wikipedia is very much important because people have access to information that is, I can call it first hand, because the editors, they give their best when they're editing an article, and the information you receive there is actually accurate.
My name is Andy, and I am a Wikipedia user, but on occasion we are trying to talk about, I can use a few resources in terms of the data or in terms of the references, but generally it's a website that's very useful and very rich in knowledge as per my experience. And things I like about Wikipedia is, other than the information that's being there, are the links that link up with other Wikipedia pages. So generally, it's a sort of connected library. And what I don't like about Wikipedia is aesthetic. It's not very pleasing to use. So as Wikipedia turns 22, I'd suggest it makes it a little aesthetic on the interface. Yeah, that's my suggestion. Thank you.
My name is Francis. I have used Wikipedia to look for content sometimes when I'm doing my research work. So sometimes it's very helpful, sometimes it's not. In the event that sometimes it is not factually accurate when you're looking for the same content on other sites. Yeah, otherwise it's always I think the search engine optimization is done well, so they always appear on the top. So that's one thing about it. And it turns a year older. I hope that it continues doing better, achieving its goals, helping people do the research, and yeah, happy about this.
Thank you, thank you. And as you enjoy the videos, I would also like to recognize a great resource that has worked, burned the midnight oil to compile all these videos from all these regions. Terry Bouquet from the Kenyan User Group, we celebrate you. You're quite a gem. So we're going to move and get a keynote address from Mariana. And after Mariana, we are going to hear about an exciting platform that we are going to introduce, we are planning to introduce in the region. It's called Africa Connect. We're going to hear more about that. And we also have a lot of cake in store for us for the celebrations. Also get your favorite drinks ready as we'll be making a toast towards the end of the program. So I'm delighted to welcome Mariana.
Thank you, Winnie. Can I just check that you can hear me clearly?
Yes, we can, Mariana.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for inviting me. Those of you who I haven't met yet, I'm Mariana Iskander, the CEO of the Wikimedia Foundation. I always feel at home when we have a gathering of African Wikimedians. Many of you know that my home is in Johannesburg in South Africa, although today I'm joining you from San Francisco in the United States. I wanted to first just say thank you to Winnie and to Bobby and Tochi. Romeo is very inspired by your speech. And I know that there's Felix and many other people behind the scenes making this production happen. So just begin by acknowledging all of you with appreciation for bringing us together, and to say happy birthday and happy anniversary and all the milestones and celebrations at 22 years for Wikipedia. I've been at the foundation for 1 year. I started by having many conversations on a listening tour, including with several people on this call and several African communities who were kind and generous enough to help me begin learning about both the incredible work happening in Wikimedia, but also some of the challenges that Bobby spoke to and others spoke to already. And it's been a great opportunity in this first year to really help our African communities as well as the global Wikimedia movement as we look ahead to the movement strategy of 2030. As you know, that involves the strategic direction focused on knowledge equity, which I think a lot of the work that many of you have described here today is helping us advance, and also knowledge as a service as we think about becoming and remaining the essential infrastructure of free knowledge online. I just wanted to say two things today. The first is just how inspired I've been learning and engaging and talking with African Wikimedians, both on the continent and in other parts of the world. I recently engaged with our Nigerian communities in December. It was just a really powerful opportunity to hear what the work is, what the challenges are, how the foundation, I think, can continue to provide support and to engage. The second is that I have been in conversations more recently, and I hope to have more, so issuing an invitation here to really understand the work on the ground that is growing our content and growing our active editors in Africa. What are the things that we see are having great success, and how can we scale those? I know that what we need is scale. We need solutions that can work for people where they are, and hope that I can continue to have more of those learnings and conversations with some of you here on the call and in other groups, user groups and communities as well. So just a big thank you for bringing us together, for having me here, for all of the inspiration, and a happy birthday to Wikipedia on this Friday. Back to you, Winnie.
Thank you, Mariana, for your remarks. Thank you so much also for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move to the introduction of the African Connect platform. Just tell you more about what we envision it to be, the needs that we are seeing that it will help to serve. And as I do the quick introduction, I'll also like to ask Belinda, Bobby, Felix, and Romeo to be on standby, as I will also be inviting you after my remarks to just share your thoughts about this platform and why you think it's important for the region. So Africa Connect is basically a convening that we feel will be quite timely for African Wikimedians. The need for regular, intentional, and consistent communication among communities in Africa surfaced during the 2022 Wiki Indaba in Kigali, Rwanda, and the need for a structured space to have meaningful conversations. We recognize that outside local convenings that are hosted by some affiliates, such as the South African chapter, the Niger Hour, and now the annual Wiki Indaba, as a whole, as a region, we do not have a space to co-create projects together, share out and harness collaboration, air our grievances as well, and simply network and engage. As we've seen, we have a lot of collaboration that is happening. So even having the platform to ensure that we are enhancing sensitization, advocacy, and helping to help newcomers also plug in and engage in even global conversations. This is what we envision Africa Connect to be. Africa Connect comes in to fill this void and also encourage a sense of belonging, collaboration, problem solving, and so much more around global movements and events. So far, it is still, the nitty-gritties are still in discussions. And as you know, we also ensure that there's a lot of community sensitization and involvement. The proposed suggestions at the moment is to have this as a bi-weekly call that is going to have language support. Again, another key area that surfaced during Wiki Indaba. So I would like to invite Belinda, Felix to be on standby as well. So we are going to start with Belinda. And Belinda will just share insights as a senior manager at the movement's communications, where translations and also regional communications is a very key priority for this particular department. What value do you see Africa Connect enhancing, especially as far as foundation staff communication and outreach goes? And can we also expect more language support in terms of translations and interpretations from movement comms to support this? Welcome, Belinda. Felix, please ensure that Belinda is able to unmute.
Yeah, I can't see her on the chat. Do you know which name she's using?
Okay, maybe as we confirm if Belinda is still on the call, we can move to Felix.
Okay, sure. Thanks for inviting me to speak on this issue, Winnie. I think for me, the African Connect, like you rightly said, is going to provide us space for Africans to be able to talk amongst themselves and sort of like chat the way forward for what is important in this movement for Africa. One thing that stayed with me after Wiki Ndaba was the fact that everybody was asking what was the African agenda. And I think this actually stuck with me in the sense that people were asking this because apart from Wiki Ndaba, which provides that convenient space to talk about such issues, there was no other space that Africans could actually come together and speak about issues that pertain to the region and also was very important to them. And so I think Africa Connect is a good intervention to support Africans to come together and speak on the issues that matters to them. What I like about what I've heard so far about the Africa Connect is the fact that it is a collaboration between Movement Comms and WISCOM. So I think it's a way to say we're supporting hand in hand and providing support from the foundation to community events like this and to ensure that Africans are able to speak amongst themselves and curate a space where they can chat their way forward. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Felix, and also for mentioning, which I think I forgot to mention, that this will be a collaboration between Movement Comms and WISCOM, the Wiki Ndaba Steering Committee. So I'm going to invite Romeo to share his thoughts as well on, as a community member in the region, how he feels this platform will benefit our community members in the African region.
Okay, yeah, from my context, what I can just say is that as a Wikimedian probably, and as somebody who probably is new, I look at the African Connect as such an amazing body that comes in actually not only to unify us, but also to jump in where necessary in terms of solving quite a number of problems here. We, I think, understand very well that in terms of, first of all, even content-wise, at the African context, we still, I think there was that quotation that Paris as a city has more content than us yet in Africa. So I think there is yet a lot to be done, which is not only in terms of writing content, but you realize there are structures around administration, structures around collaborations, sharing of skills. And this comes in super handy for such a body like the African Connect. I'm so optimistic at whatever is going to happen here. And I'm super, I would love to find a body that I can easily reach out to Winnie and say, Winnie, there's this here, or probably just reach out to Bobby or Felix or wherever, and just be able to jump in for my community where necessary. This is going to ease a lot of collaborations, which is such a necessity and a serious key here for us to be able to move forward. Otherwise, yeah, these are actually my thoughts around the Africa Connect. And yeah, I'm just super optimistic and very thankful.
Thank you so much, Romeo. And now we go to Bobby, the president of WISCOM.
Thank you so much, Winnie. And I'd really like to reiterate the words that were spoken by my two colleagues who have already spoken, and especially Romeo, when he mentioned bringing the unified voice, you know, because there is a lack of unified voice, regional voice in the current, you know, movement-wide issues. So it'll be easy really for us, you know, with Africa Connect to, you know, connect and learn from what are other people doing in other parts of Africa, and transfer skills as well, because as we sit here in this meeting, we've got, you know, skills, different skill set, and we've got different experiences. So if I'm really good with Wikipedia, maybe putting together an info box, and someone is in a small language Wikipedia, don't know how to do that, it'll be very easy to transfer that skill to someone else And if maybe someone else wants to maybe start, an article, they don't know how to start an article, or to even run an edit workshop, an effective planning of running an edit workshop. Africa Connect would be that space, safe space for people to come and just connect and share those skills, and above that, again, to unify us as Africans. I saw these colleagues. Let me just be controversial a bit. When we were wanting someone to represent us there in the board of Wikimedia Foundation, Tochi was going up and down, campaigning people. With Africa Connect, I know that we're going to have a space that unify us, that give us one voice. We will know, even have a process of how do we, elect that person, and what is the voting? How do we do the voting here? And then how do we support that person when they are in the structure where they would need to be voted in and sit, in the board there? Those are the kinds of things that Africa Connect will solve. Thanks. Without taking more time, thanks. Over to you, Winnie.
Thank you so much, Bobby. I understand Belinda dropped off the call due to a technical issue. So I'd like to also take this opportunity to, open the room, the floor, and get 3 questions or even comments regarding Africa Connect that any of the community members on this call might have. So if you have questions, please raise your hand, or a comment we'd like to hear, even if it's an affirmation. And also we are looking for volunteers who are also interested to join the working group that will help put this together. As we mentioned, it's going to be a collaborative space with some of the foundation staff who are African facing, WISCOM, and also we want a lot of input from community representatives as well. So in case you have a comment, question, feel free to put it on the chat, but we'll also like to give room for anyone to verbalize if you are interested. Olushola, would you like to share your insights regarding Africa Connect? And also Carol from the Wikimedia user group in Kenya. Now that you guys are now volunteering, and I know you're just being modest, trying to see who goes first, I'm gonna call you out. I see Protais says Africa Connect sounds like a problem solver. And I hear somebody else was also trying to speak. Please go ahead. Go ahead.
Hi, good evening. My name is Carol from Nairobi, Kenya. And I think I'm just trying to figure out and see, will all our problems be solved? We have so many issues. And I think this is a great platform for all of us to air our issues, to air and also to learn more about the foundation. So to me, it will be a solving issue platform and also a learning platform, so that we can be able to understand the movement more. And I think maybe, I don't know whether it's a question I would ask. As we have this African Connect, how will be the other people from around the world be able to understand Africa? Because I always see, as I navigate through Wikipedia, like no one is understanding us. How will the African Connect be able to, connect that issue of, let them also, other people understand us? As we
Thank you very much for sharing, Carol. Felix, would you like to respond to the question that Carol has asked around how we get to connect and make the other regions familiarize with Africans' interests and issues?
So I don't think I have an answer for this, because we're learning as we go on this particular initiative. But I definitely think that one thing that Romeo and Bobby have highlighted is the unison in voice. And I think having this platform would create that space to unite our voices. I think I said this at Wikindaba. In 2017, we did something that was emulated by the whole movement, which was the letter to Catherine. Catherine was then the executive director of the Wikimedia Foundation. And this was a letter that we wrote to Catherine. It was a unified set of like concerns and set of like plights from the African communities that was sent to Catherine. And this created a rippling effect within other regions. So the Latin American folks also copied this. They called it the Carta de Deje or something like that. And then it was also copied in other regions. So I think just starting off with this space to talk and discuss these pertinent issues creates that opportunity to have that united voice, which will be heard by people, because then it's not Felix or it's not Bobby saying something of their own. It's the whole of Africa saying, these are a set of priorities, or these are the recommendations that we hope the foundation will look at in terms of working with us. So like I said, I don't have an answer for it, but I just say that I think this platform will create the space to begin the discussions and to be able to sort of like collaborate in a way that creates one voice from the continent or from the region.
Great. Thank you for sharing that, Felix. Is there anyone else who has a comment? I see Shola is saying it's a noisy place, but he believes that, he strongly believes that Africa Connect will be a great problem solving for Africans and could grow to be a Wikimedian home and unifier for African Wikimedians. Let's go. Indeed. Thank you for that affirmation, Olushola. I also see Kwesi Kenuria saying that would Africa Connect limit its reach only to Africans and also are their sponsors? I don't understand the last bit. I don't know if Nuria is asking who are the sponsors for Africa Connect. Africa Connect has no sponsors. It is just a platform we are creating as Wikimedians in collaboration with the movement communications team. So yes, there are no sponsors for that. Sorry about that. Yes, and WISCOM, which again is the governing body for African Wikimedians. So there's no sponsors. And no, the primary target audience for African Connect, of course, it's African Wikimedians. But then, of course, we are Wikimedians. We do not work in isolation. So we are going to have also spaces to connect with other Wikimedians in other regions. For example, we already know like there's a great topic about movement strategy regarding hubs that is ongoing. And a good example is even the I know like for West Africa, they did a research around a hub in the region. East Africans are currently ongoing with the research on hub. And yet we have a region like the Central Europe, the CEE region, which is already advanced as far as the hub discussion is concerned. So when we have platforms such as Africa Connect, we're able to bring all these voices together and see how people can exchange that knowledge and work together. Again, it also becomes a safe space for any other new Wikimedians or any other Wikimedian who might not even have any knowledge about hubs, but now as an African Wikimedian, that space feels safe for you to even raise your hand and ask, what is actually this hub discussion? What is even this movement strategies? Then you're able to get guidance or sensitizations that enables you now to actively get involved and participate in our movement issues because we're equipped with that knowledge. We realize that when we have a lot of these global calls and conversations, African voices are even missing in those platforms because people probably don't feel empowered enough to speak about issues. So we want to ensure that everyone is empowered, informed, even at a local level, so that we're engaging much more informed into the movement. So I hope that answers the question. And I'm glad that also people feel that Africa Connect will really help into helping problem solve. Africa Connect itself is not a problem solver. We can say, yeah, it is here, it will solve all our issues, but it's just here to help us spotlight, discuss these issues so that we can find a common ground and understanding, as Felix had said. So I hope that's clear. So in the interest of time, please, if you have further comments, please share them in the chat. and a message will go out calling for volunteers who might be interested to join the group. For now, please allow us to move forward with the next agenda item. So we're going to have an entertainment piece, and after that entertainment piece, we still have two great speakers. One is from North Africa who will be sharing. So after this entertainment piece, and I think it's Bobby who is playing a guitar, or it's somebody, another lady who is singing. I'm not sure, but I just know it's going to be awesome. After this, we have a speaker who will be coming up, actually two, and then we are going to move to the session where we are going to cut cake and yeah, just make merry. So welcome, Bobby.
Thank you, Winnie. And I hope you can hear, actually, or you can see. I don't know if you can see.
And here, but there's a disruption. I don't know if it's coming from your end or on somebody else's device.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
So,
all good.
I'm going to play a piece. I've actually written a poem, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do the poem while I'm playing a piece, you know. This song is called Don't Know Yet. The reason is because I composed it, but you know, I could not find a title for it. So yeah, that's the title of the song. It's called Don't Know Yet because of that. A very short piece. That's my song. Thank you so much. I hope you heard that. That is a song, I just named it, Don't Know Yet. It's a song that does not have a title as yet. I'm still yet gonna find lyrics to put that so that I can sing it. I hope one day I'm gonna be able to sing it. But yeah, thank you. Over to you, Winnie.
Thank you, Bobby. That was really nice, but people were complaining that we can't see you. So before we end, we want a second one where we can see you and we can all turn our videos and yeah.
We can organize that.
Yeah, so guys, please get your drinks ready and wear your dancing shoes because we have 2 speakers to go. Then we are going to move to the cake cutting session. We're going to have more music, more celebration, and we're going to make a toast. So this is the moment for you to get your favorite drink ready. I see Kuma's suggesting that we give a chance to translators, but I also want to clarify that because they are doing live translations, they are not able to speak, but these are seasoned Wikimedians, and trust me, if they have any insights they would like to share, they are also free to share them on the chat, so don't worry about that. So I'm going to move to our next speaker. Just a second. She's called Sokana. So Sokana Abelhad is an experienced data scientist and a member of the user group of Morocco. She takes pride in committing to support education through Wikimedia's projects, and she'll be sharing perspectives as a Wikimedian from North Africa. Welcome, Sokana.
Welcome, everyone, and thank you for having me today. I hope you guys can hear me clearly. So, yeah, I will introduce myself quickly. So my name is Sukaina, and I'm from Morocco. I work as a data scientist, and my main focus in Wikimedia are like educational projects in Wikidata, since it's something that is related to my profession. So like my story or how I started with the Wikimedia movement is a bit a funny one. I remember once I was scrolling on Instagram feed, and then I saw a post about Wikimedia Moroccan user group. So I just reached out to the co-founders. Like I had like thousands of questions in my head, like what is Wikimedia? How is this linked to Wikipedia? What are people doing exactly? So then I started to get more answers, understanding more what's happening behind the scenes, and I got intrigued. So that's how my story started, and that's how I joined the Wikimedia Moroccan user group. After that, I got the chance to be part of the pilot project of reading Wikipedia in the classroom. So I was actually working along with the educational team of Wikimedia, and we've been working on the pilot version of the project. And we got the chance to run a test in Morocco and 2 other countries, Philippines and Bolivia, and we kind of collected feedback. We worked on the materials and all these things that you are seeing now in the official program. So that's due to our collaborative efforts. So we managed to finalize the version of the project that now we can see spreading across the countries and region, and that's something that I don't know, I feel proud to see every time like I hear that a country has implemented their first version of this project. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it kind of feels great. And after that, I was also intrigued in Wikidata. Since I'm a data scientist, I was like, oh, okay, what is this Wikidata about? I would like to know more about it. And then I started also to collaborate with other user groups and with the educational team of Wikimedia. And I started to use my skills to develop a model that would help us to digitalize the curriculums across the world. And that's also a close project to my heart, because I feel like this is going to help countries and regions to boost their educational systems, and it will also help us to provide help and support, and it will make it easy for people to like build statistics, reports, and provide support and materials to these countries. So these are like 2 big projects that I'm pretty proud of, but my user group is working on many other like projects, especially this year. I feel like the agenda is pretty heavy for this year, but it's also really exciting. So the user group is working on the 3rd edition of Reading Wikipedia in the Classroom, and the team is also working on a documentation project. So due to lack of documentation about several main topics in Morocco, we managed to set a team that will be only focusing on gathering the content to document every cultural aspect of our country. We've been also focusing on writing in photography context to also enrich this content on Wikipedia. And there is also a project that I can also see interesting for us as a user group, and it's more focused on communication. So we all know that not everyone knows what Wikimedia is or what the user group are focusing about. So we thought of building or focusing on communication by launching a podcast. So we will have an episode per month, and that's where we will be explaining what is Wikimedia about, what is our user group focusing about. And I think that would give us more visibility across the countries. That would also encourage people to join us and to help us and support what our mission. and I feel like, you know, I feel like I joined the user group in 2018, and now it's been like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years now. So time flies, and I can see the growth. I can see how the collaborative work is making everyone grow and learn new things and implement even more and better versions of each project. So yeah, I eventually, if I also got to talk about challenges, I think the biggest challenge that probably most Wikimedians would agree with me on is the wrong assumptions and misconcepted, you know, concept about Wikimedia project. If you go in the street and talk about random people about Wikipedia, they will say, you know, they have a lot of assumptions about it. So I feel like it's our mission to correct these misconcept and you know, push people to understand more how noble this cause is and how amazing and big is, you know, how big is the impact of our focus and project. And so I think that's the main challenge that we're trying to encounter. And of course, the lack of content, especially for like the minority languages. And we do have many of these in Morocco, like Amazigh and Darija, that are like 2 main languages that people use, but lack content on Wikipedia. And that's also something that we try to close this gap too. Yeah, I think that's an overall of what the user group is working on, the projects, the challenges that we're trying to encounter. And I mean, what I would want to see in the future is like more growth and success and support for these kind of activities and projects. And I would also want to see more chapters in Africa region. I feel like we have more chapters in Europe and elsewhere, but in Africa, we kind of lack this. So I would like to see more chapters, you know, more support, more programs for the knowledge sharing, so we can, you know, help to grow these regions. And I think I'm pretty proud of the collaborations I provided to this movement. And yeah, I wish, you know, for more projects, more collaborations. And I think that's it for me. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Sokaina, for the great share out. We're going to move now to Lucille from South Africa to also share her insights. And after that, we're going to get some music. Welcome, Lucille.
Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Good evening and happy birthday, Wiki. Happy 22nd birthday. And I can hear there's cake, and I was wondering whether the cake is going to be flown internationally as well. My name is Lucille Mudenda. I'm from Zambia, Southern Africa, not South Africa, but I'm from Southern Africa. And I'll talk about myself first. I got interested in Wiki a few years ago. And this is a time when I was doing a little research on the African culture and the similarities between the West African culture and the Southern African culture, the Southern Africa, Central Africa culture. But you see, at the time, I didn't know much about Wiki. Because what amazed me about this whole thing was the fact that each time I would try and search, one of the resource sites that came on was Wiki. And I wondered, what is this Wikipedia about? And so that is how I started getting interest. And in 2018, Bobby came from South Africa. We had a classroom training, and that actually kind of made me feel, well, I really need to know more about Wiki. And that is how I started Wikipedia, my writing with Wikipedia. And then our user group, when we're talking about the projects that we do as a user group, one of the first things that we started actually was an issue of profiling the women, notable women in Zambia. We also realized that in the Western women, there are quite a number that have been profiled. But whereas our African women and the people who we consider in Zambia as notable people are not profiled. You go there, you are trying to Google a name, you cannot find this person. So, or you search on Wiki, you cannot find this person. So that was one of the major things that we are trying to do as the Zambia group. We are working on this project and we're hoping that it will actually be a success. And I did hear Bobby, and I do agree with him, the issue of bullying, where you find to say, somebody doesn't know about this woman who I'm talking about, Salome Kapepe, for example, who is somebody we consider a freedom fighter in India. That article is going to be shut down. So those are some of the things that we're actually looking through. And then we do have something that we need to talk about, and that is the issue of, among the challenges that we face is the limited knowledge, which I think I've heard one or two people talk about, the limited knowledge on Wiki by people. Really, quite a few people think that Wiki is just another social group, like that will talk about gossip. And that is one of the things that, and this kind of, it hinders people from giving us information, even if they've been quoted in books or certain websites. They kind of are not really interested in saying, no, why would you want my information? What gossip do you want to write about me? And I give an example of one success story that we had was a very prominent person. Unfortunately, I couldn't get her so that I could reveal her name. But when we're trying to profile her, I did actually talk to her, and initially she just brushed me aside. The second time, the third time, finally I just told her, I said, you know what? Go on to Google, search for your name, focus on Wikipedia, and check and read what is written about you. Then you can get back to me. So she went, she checked on Wiki what was written about her. The very next day she got back to me. And she says, you know what? What they've written about me there is true. Everything there's nothing wrong about it. But the only thing, it's very brief. I need you to work on it. And then she sent me this long CV. So to me, that is a success story, because we're able to actually get her to actually read and understand. Because initially she thought it was just another social website where people are just writing wrong things about her. And one of the things, when you talk about, I was asked to talk about the wish list that we want to see. We want to see, as a user group, we want to see more articles on Zambia, facts about Zambia and the Zambian people. And if we do not write ourselves about Zambia, somebody else is going to write about us. And they won't write the truth because they're not here. They don't know what we are going through. They don't know our people. They only read a little bit about our people, a little bit about a place, and they'll think that they know the place, but they really don't know. So it is, as I would like to see, we need to wake up ourselves and write about our people, our country, our history, our leaders. It may be difficult to be accepted by other Wikipedians, but one day we'll get there. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Lucille, for that elaborate insights. We really appreciate that. Guys, thank you for staying onto the call. I promise you we are almost done. Please stick around a bit longer. So we're going to have a video compilation of voices again from Africa wishing Wikipedia birthday. So that's our birthday song. Then we're going to have another great piece from Bobby. And also there's a lady also who will be singing along Bobby as he plays the guitar. So things are the celebration is getting heated up. So stick around. Over to you.
I wish Wikipedia the best anniversary on their 22nd year of existence.
Happy 22nd birthday, Wikipedia.
Happy birthday, Wikipedia.
Happy birthday to Wikipedia.
Thank you. So now I will hand it over to Bobby and Makinde. I'm so sorry, Makinde. I referred to you as just lady. You know, I've been mentioning a lot of names today, so I didn't want to get that wrong. So yes, we have a great piece from Bobby, who will be playing the guitar once again. And we have Makinde. So if you enjoy the music, feel free to turn on your video and yeah, do your moves. Welcome, Bobby.
Thank you so much. We're going to do the happy birthday song, colleagues. And if Mas Makinde will be singing, and if you also, you know, have a voice, you can actually join us. And yeah, all right. Makinde, maybe I'll follow your lead. Can you see me, Winnie?
No, we can't see you, Bobby.
Oh, all right. Well,
we have to see you this time.
Yeah, I've opened my video, but I don't know.
It's just dark. Are you experiencing load shedding?
Well, let me see. Wait.
Yeah, there you go. You unlocked your camera.
Yes. Oh yes. Makinde, can you sing?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm here.
Can you sing so that I can get the key? I know that there'll be a leg, but yeah,
Okay.
let's do this.
Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Yeah, 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 to Wikipedia.
Yay.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Yeah, 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 yeah. To you.
Hip hip.
Hooray.
Wow, that was really amazing. We have a lot of talent in here. Oh, and the cake is there. Bobby and Makinde, you have to promise us that in the next Wiki Indaba, this has to be a session.
Yes.
Oh, great. So this is the moment we've been waiting for. As you know, I don't know if this happens in other regions as well, but cake is a big deal in events for us here in Nairobi. So even though we will not be eating this with Bobby, are you gonna eat all that cake yourself?
Bobby, you can WhatsApp me my cake.
I'm gonna WhatsApp everyone the cake.
Bobby, share.
So everyone, feel free to turn your video on. Let's celebrate this moment together as well. And yeah, Makinde, please, as Bobby cuts, please give us another song around cake cutting.
Happy birthday to you.
I'm cutting Africa now.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Yeah, yeah, yeah. To Wikipedia.
So there's the cake.
We share the cake, and it's also my birthday.
I'm
gonna WhatsApp you. I'm gonna Telegram you the cake.
We are biting on our behalf. Yeah, we are biting with you virtually.
Otherwise, Bobby celebrating because you're the one hitting alone.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Bobby, don't finish
You can
the
only
cake.
just touch your heart.
Please okay, Bobby.
Thank you. We're over to you.
Oh, I am really swallowing buckets of saliva right now. So unfortunate, but it is well. So thank you everyone who's managed to join this call. That was really great to have this celebration. You know, I want to give a special shout out to all the great teams that have worked tirelessly behind the scenes at the very last minute to make this happen. And please allow me to mention all of them by name because it's really important. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Geoffrey. Thank you, Anthony, Bobby, Patsy, Terry, Makinde. We also have Robert, Romeo, Justice as well, and all our translators, Anthony and Rene. We really appreciate you. Belinda as well. Thank you so much for everybody who's helped put this together in a very short notice. Everyone again who's taken their time to join this call, we celebrate you. Any leaders from affiliates here, any thematic user groups that you've also taken your time to mobilize your community members to attend, and also for the great work that you do in growing your communities to be the force that they are. We really appreciate you all. I saw Joy also in the call. Joy, we celebrate you. I saw Dr. Nkem. We celebrate and love you all. So thank you so much. We say asante sana. So at this particular point, I will let Bobby and Felix, if they have any closing remarks to share, and then we're just gonna jump to music and you can feel free to drop at your convenience. Asanteni sana. Oh, and after Felix and Bobby speaks, I forgot that we had drinks. So we're gonna make a toast. Welcome, Bobby or Felix.
Well,
okay,
I don't
yes, you can go ahead, Felix.
Yeah, I was just saying that I don't think I have anything to say than to say thank you to you all for making this movement awesome and for being there throughout the journey of Wikipedia. Wikipedia is 22 because of all of you. And for me, it's great to see people whom we started with still here and helping other people find their paths on this journey. So yeah, I want to celebrate my close allies, Bobby, Shola, Isaac, all those that were there in the beginning and still holding on to the mantle to help even new folks joining in. So yeah, we really appreciate everybody who's been here today. It's been just a blessing for me to see all of you.
I don't have a lot of words. I would reiterate what Felix has said. Thank you so much to everyone who has joined today. Really, we could not have done this without you, without your presence. This could not really have been a success. And yeah, colleagues, the conversations are still going on. Look out for more Africa Connect, WISCOM, and we'll be communicating with you. And thank you so much. I will Telegram, email, and WhatsApp the cake to everyone in the African continent. Thanks over to you, Winnie.
Thank you, Bobby and Felix. So at this point, I guess everybody gets to, we didn't get the cake, but we can have our drinks. So we can turn on our videos so that we also take a group photo. If Felix can help us take that, that would really be great. So everyone, please turn on your videos so that we can get a group photo. So nice to see you, Justice. This reminds me when we organized the Wikipedia at 20. So thanks. It was really, it's nice seeing you. You guys are looking lovely.
Sorry, please. I think Geoffrey should take this photo because I can't get everybody on one page. I don't know how to do that. Sorry.
Geoffrey, are you up for the task?
Yeah, sure. But I'm going to take the photo so 3 times. So please keep your smiles on. You don't know which page you are on, because I have like three screens. So actually 4 of them. So yeah, please keep on your smiles for 4. I'm going to take the first one, then I'll take the other one. So I'm going to take the first one on the count of, on the count of 3.
When I grow up, I want to smile like Njahi Joe.
So I'm taking the first one. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, capture. So that's 1. Okay, taking the next one. You don't know which screen you are on, so that's my secret. So just keep your smile on kindly. Okay, so on the count of 3 again. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So taking the last one now, have 3 screens. So on the count of 3. So 1, 2, 3.
I see Uchechuku has added in some swag. Go girl.
So one more, just one more. 1, 2, 3. All right. So I think I'll be sharing the photos on the Telegram group. Thank you.
Great. Now you can bring out your drinks. We make a toast, and Geoffrey, Felix, you can bring the music on. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And is this the part where we say bye-bye or?
No, guests can leave at their own pleasure. They just have some music a bit and then, yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh. Cheers, guys. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. And good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Give us a song for one more last dance before we say like last bye-bye. Hey, Ruby, I see you.
Yes. Yes.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
There's the music. Thanks, everyone, and good evening, and see you on the other side. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. We'll continue the celebration at Indaba, or for those who will be at Wikimania.
Thank you, Tochi.